When the plane was crashing, Ilya thought he was going to die. And in that moment, he prayed. He asked for more time to love Shane properly without running or hiding. He survived and he kept his promise. Things shifted after that. And you know what? This is where the story really begins for them. So the plane had emergency landing and everybody was safe. Ilya messaged Shane after that, telling him not to take his Instagram messages too seriously. But Shane, who never checks them, checked them that day and he found them romantic but weird. And only after that, Shane learned that Ilya's plane almost crashed. And suddenly, those messages weren't random anymore. They were a goodbye. That's when it hit Shane hard. Ilya could have been gone, and the only thing left of him would be messages on the screen. Shane felt that if that had happened, he would also die. Silently, alone, unable to tell anyone about his pain and grief without no one knowing what he lost. That moment changed everything. Shane decided for himself, no more hiding, no more waiting, just enjoying every moment with Ilya fully, because who knows how much time they really have left to live, like years, months, days, no one knows. So how can they plan a happy life 10 years from now if tomorrow isn't even guaranteed? And Shane saw that with terrifying clarity. And if up to this moment we weren't sure about his feelings, some even thought he was thinking mostly about himself, not me, what comes next changes everything, because now we see just how much he cares and the drastic steps he's taken. So a week later, Ilya came home from the airport and Shane was already there waiting, not hiding, not afraid someone might see. He met him right on the porch, let him inside, and then Ilya stopped because the entire living room was glowing, covered in candles, well, electric. And then Shane dropped to one knee and proposed to Ilya. He said, "There is nothing in my life that matters most than you, Ilya." So it took him being scared to death that he could lose Ilya to finally realize it. And we can't blame him. Most people live like they have forever, but that shook Shane to the core. So he made a decision. No more wasting time. He said, "I choose you, Ilya. I promise I will always, always choose you." And then he asked, "Will you marry me?" Ilya said, "Yes, of course he does." And then Ilya half-jokingly asked, "Oh, is this proposal because I almost died?" And Shane answered, "No, it's because I almost died." And Shane gave Ilya a ring. He bought one. He wasn't sure that Ilya would say yes, so he bought only one, just for Ilya. For himself, he didn't buy it. He would buy it later. So he gave Ilya the ring, but it was too small. So Ilya puts it with his crucifix on his neck, close to his heart, to always feel Shane's presence with him. But it doesn't stop there. Shane says something even bigger. Summer. Ilya was like, "What summer?" But Shane meant that's when they come out, go public, get married. Shane said they announced it themselves, so everything is on their terms. Ilya's heart flipped. He was over the moon. As you remember, he was so ready to go public and fight the consequences, but he didn't want to push Shane into that before he's ready. So Ilya was suffering quietly inside, and now Shane is the one saying, "Let's do it." Aww. They decided to keep going on like before until summer, maybe be less careful, and then more shifts followed. I didn't tell you, after Scott Hunter came out and Ilya and Shane running their charity camps, NHL Commissioner Crowell called Shane in and they had an intense talk about being an activist and an NHL player, and that Crowell guy was passive aggressive and Shane didn't like it. Krul wanted silence from his players, just do the game and that's it. But Shane, he believed in doing what's right. So then comes another tense meeting with Crowell at the All-Star event where Ilya and Shane were both present. They met Commissioner Crowell in the hallways, and a heated argument started almost out of nowhere. Well, actually, it was Ilya who started it. Shane tried to stop him, but Ilya said that as a team captain, he was concerned that Crowell spoke to one of his teammates, Troy Barrett, who previously publicly accused his ex-friend of assault. But that's another story, the role model one. So Ilya said he was concerned, meaning like back off, meaning Barrett was doing a good thing, raising awareness, posting about help centers on his Instagram. But Crowell, as a hard nut, he came at Ilya with words so that Ilya couldn't respond. But then Shane stepped in. He fought instead of Ilya. Can you believe it? Like our shy, quiet guy who's avoiding conflicts and is a good boy stood up for his man. Ilya was so proud of him deep down, but also scared that Shane might get in trouble for getting pulled into this terrible argument. But Shane argued so well. Ilya was mesmerized. Ilya couldn't believe that Shane even accused the league of not doing what should be done, right to the commissioner's face. Remember this moment. It's important. So that was one thing that shifted. They stood up and argued with the league representative. Next, while they kept dating in secret, Ilya's teammate, Troy Barrett, the role model book I read right now, came out publicly. And Ilya saw the support Troy got from the audience and the team, which made Ilya feel that he is on the best team ever and happy for Troy, but also jealous since he and Shane still had to keep everything a secret. So, as the therapist advised, Ilya opened up about Shane to his friend Svetlana, and she supported him. Actually, their conversation turned into a little game because she asked him, where were you all these years? Because he basically disappeared from Boston for all these years and she was there. Well, not that she's in love with him, but he just disappeared. And then she guessed that, oh, you fell in love. Well, he said that I moved for the person I love. Well, he didn't put it this way. He said he left Boston to be closer to one person and that they were dating now. And then Svetlana guessed it was a man. Not right away. First, she tried women, but then she's like, is it a man? Yeah, so she guessed it was a man, but she couldn't figure out who. So Ilya said the name, Shane. Still, Svetlana couldn't place it. So then Ilya added that Shane is an athlete. Still nothing. And then he said Shane plays hockey. And still Svetlana was like, I can't think of any Shane except for Shane Hollander. And then the aha moment. Yes. So, well, she supported him, and it was great that now Ilya has someone to talk to. Another big shift. Ilya's team has a dog. It's a team's dog. And Ilya was so sweet playing with it every time, and he wanted a dog of his own, but he understood that no, right now it's not like that time. He still wanted a dog, and in the end, he got a dog himself. So his PR manager kind of lured him in on the farm where his family lives, and they have lots of dogs. And so he sent him on a date with a dog, so Ilya ended up adopting her. And he was so caring for her, taking her to a dog spa. So sweet. He didn't consult with Shane before getting her. And remember, he was actually listening to Shane's opinion. Like, he sold his sports car, he couldn't get his pilot license. He said Shane was a pill about it, so he couldn't. Yeah, so Shane is like an authority to him. So he got a dog. He didn't tell Shane. It was a surprise for Shane. So when Shane found out he is a reasonable boy, thought there was a list of reasons, as long as the Rideau Canal, why this was not the best time in Ilya's life to become a dog owner. Shane, is a good wife, was about to start listing them. But then he saw how happy it made Ilya, and he accepted it. Not only accepted, but he was ready to share everything. I wouldn't say it's a burden, but, well, share everything that includes taking care of the dog. Yeah, like in families, when a husband does something wild and the wife is angry at first, but then accepts it and they deal with it together. Oh, so sweet. Ilya named her Anya. And then there was another sweet moment where we see Shane and Ilya teasing each other. Actually, the whole book is full of it. I recommend you reading it. And we can also see that Shane is not a ninny. He can fight back, yes. He's teasing Ilya right back. It so happened Ilya was driving to Shane with Anya. He already got a million toys. It was at his place, but also he ordered lots of toys for Shane's place because every time he visited Shane, he brought Anya with him. He was driving to Shane. He was on the phone and he was telling Shane, like, did you get all the toys? Did you set up a bed for Anya? Is it in the best spot by the fireplace? And Shane was like, yes, yes, I did it. You know, he follows instructions very well. But he was a bit pissed. Well, just a little bit. Meanwhile, Shane wanted Ilya to come faster. They were going to Hayden and his daughters to show them Anya that day. And Ilya was like overprotective. What if they bother Anya? If she freaks out, we will leave immediately. And then Shane goes like, if anything freaks Anya out, it's going to be that weird, creepy face stuffed banana toy you got her. And then he squeezed it like squeak. But Ilya was like, do not wear out the toy before Anya gets to play with it, Hollander. But Shane squeaked it more, saying, better hurry then. You see? He has character. Another thing I should tell you about is the intimacy scenes. Unreal. There were so many amazing intimacy scenes. I need to make a video about them. I'm sure Jacob Tierney was sitting there with a pen and a pencil, just like me. In one scene, Ilya says, take me apart, Hollander. There's also a trophy room scene where Ilya boosts Shane's confidence. There's a lot there. Shall I make a video? Probably I should. Yeah. So far, everything is falling into place. Summer is coming. Ilya got a dog. They are ready, finally ready to announce. And then they got outed by a friend. Not intentionally, but still. So, see you next time. I'll tell you everything. Bye.